Power, ladies and gentlemen. Rather than the manipulative or coercive sort, the kind that effortlessly draws guys to you and makes them want more of you. Love, affirmation, and presence. Men, like to think they're all powerful, independent, and unstoppable. However, the truth? No man is perfect. Even the most self-assured ones have their flaws. When you have a firm grasp on those, you'll be able to control his attention, emotions, and loyalties in a way he won't even notice. Most women, however, err in this area. To maintain a man according to societal norms, one must demonstrate one's value, pursue him, and make him happy. Totally incorrect. Completely incorrect. This outmoded view of the world drives guys away and causes them to treat you like dirt instead of valuing you. The real secret is to learn men's psychology so that love finds you effortlessly, without any effort on your part. Here I'll show you the 9 most common male flaws. The ones that, when played to your advantage, may make any guy feel irresistibly attracted to you. These aren't games of manipulation or cheap trickery. Here are some fundamental, innate, and psychological facts regarding the way males function. Men will treat you differently, respect you more, and even pursue you after you master these. Can you relate to the feeling of giving all you have and receiving nothing in return? Why do some women manage to captivate guys and others end up being ghosted? If that's the case, then you need to keep watching, because I'm about to reveal an incredible secret that will change the way I interact with guys for the rest of my life. And believe me when I say that number 9 is the most potent, so you better not even consider leaving early. 1. The obsession with feeling heroic. Have you ever observed the complete transformation in a man's mood when he perceives himself as resolving an issue for you? Even anything as mundane as helping you lift a big suitcase, pointing you in the right direction, or providing an opinion could be considered an act of kindness. Everything about him changes. His confidence grows, his eyes sparkle, and his chest lifts. This response has profound psychological roots. It is not irrational. In partnerships, men naturally want to feel like they matter and contribute to the other person's life. Knowing this opens a secret passageway into his feelings that most women miss. It is said that modern women should be strong, independent, and capable of taking care of themselves, and I couldn't agree more. So now we come to the conundrum. The more a guy feels like he doesn't matter, the less he gets emotionally. You shouldn't act foolish or helpless because of this. Not at all. It entails realizing that males seek to be valued by their partners. They aren't merely seeking approval. They long to feel important, trusted, and cherished. Even if he is intensely drawn to you initially, a man who doesn't feel wanted will slip away. That's why some women, despite their physical attractiveness, have such a hard time attracting and retaining men's attention, while others appear to have it made. Picture 2 distinct situations. A lady is adamant about taking care of things on her own first. She makes no effort to get her man's support, never gives him credit for his work, and never asks for his assistance. Even if she's remarkable, the guy who matters to her doesn't think he has a significant part to play. He respects her bravery, but doesn't feel emotionally close to her. In the second situation, we see a strong and independent lady who occasionally lets her man take the lead. She consults him for guidance, accepts his assistance when it's appropriate, and, most significantly, expresses gratitude for his efforts. In your opinion, who of these ladies will evoke a stronger emotional response from him? I can tell you the answer. For a very basic reason, this works. When men see the positive impact they can have on your life, they are more likely to fall in love with you. Over time, his enthusiasm will fade if he doesn't perceive any tangible value he may bring to your life. This explains why some men persist in their devotion to one woman, even though they find another woman just as beautiful, if not more so. In terms of appearance, character, or IQ, there is no distinction. His emotions in her presence reveal it. All right, let's get into this further. Have you ever found yourself in a scenario where a guy initially showed interest, but later started to distance himself? Even though you could have felt that things were going swimming, something changed. When a male loses interest in contributing to the relationship, this is a common occurrence. His emotional commitment begins to wane in the absence of this sensation. When a man does not feel needed in a healthy way, he becomes extremely devoted without knowing why. The question then becomes how to implement this strategy without coming out as weak or deceptive. Honesty and equilibrium are key. Find out when he can step in without you even having to try. Maybe you want to know his thoughts on a serious matter that you care about. Perhaps you enlisted his assistance with a minor task, even though you were capable of handling it on your own. Above all else, remember to thank him when he helps you out. Just saying, "I really appreciate that," or "that actually helped a lot," can set off a chain reaction in his mind. Women err on two fronts. They either try to prove they don't need men by behaving incredibly reliant, which comes across as forced, or they play this up to their advantage. Finding that happy medium between being your strong, independent self and letting a man be a man in a way that makes him feel respected is the real challenge. It has nothing to do with deceiving him. The key is to read his feelings and let a bond develop organically. You may be asking, what if I can get by without a man's assistance? You can let it happen without really wanting it. Men want to feel like they're making a difference in your life, not only in a practical sense. Perhaps that takes the form of moral support, sound advice, or simply being someone you can lean on in times of need. Making him feel like your hero in little ways is the key to your relationship with him. None of these are novel. Men have always felt compelled to fulfill a purpose, whether that's safeguarding their community, ensuring the financial stability of their loved ones, or even just bringing joy to the woman they love. Because it is so fundamental to men's psyches, appealing to it can lead to an unbreakable bond of commitment and intimacy. However, most women are unaware of this. When a guy realizes he isn't required, he begins to emotionally distance himself. Because of this, guys can seem to be interested at first, but then they lose interest. Even if he still feels attracted to you, he may not feel emotionally invested since he no longer sees a purpose in being in your life. Now try to picture what will happen when you fully grasp this. Envision yourself in a position where a man feels an intense bond with you, not just affection, but attachment. You make him feel more manly, that's why. This principle's potency is in that. How then can you start implementing this right away? Begin with a modest step. Try something new the next time a guy helps you out. Instead of being dismissive or complaining, find something to be grateful for. Make eye contact, smile, and tell him that it helped a lot. "You have my gratitude." Jot down his reaction. Pay attention to the variations in his energy and body language. A man begins to view you as irreplaceable the moment he feels like your hero. And this is where true beauty lies. His innate tendency to defend you will increase in proportion to the degree to which you stimulate this impulse in him. Without realizing it, he begins to put more energy into the relationship, invest more emotionally, and feel more attached. Because he has ulterior motives beyond simply wanting to be in your company. He longs to feel central to your affections. This is only the first step. Understanding how to make a man feel like a hero is just the first step. The real challenge lies in keeping him constantly drawn to you. Press 1 to unlock the secret to the power of mysterious attraction together. Don't forget to hit like and share this video with our community of modern women. And make sure to follow the channel so you never miss the latest videos. 2. Enchantment and mysteries. Do you ever stop to think about how some women manage to captivate a man for weeks on end, while others have little trouble keeping his interest for even a short period of time? There is no clear answer. No, I'm not referring to being emotionally distant or engaging in silly games. I'm referring to the type of enigma that captivates a man, keeps him wondering, and makes him want more of you. Because this is the reality. We males are hardwired to seek after incomplete things. A man's enthusiasm wanes when he thinks he has you figured out. However, he finds it impossible to disengage when there is an element of surprise or mystery surrounding you. Consider the most recent instance when another person utterly enthralled you. I don't think it was because they dumped all the goodies on you at once. Why? Because you were left wanting more. As far as attraction goes, it is how men's psyche works. At first, the allure of a woman who is overly accessible, predictable, and easy to read may be fleeting. But what about a mysterious woman who keeps him guessing, catches him off guard, and doesn't spill the beans right away? That's the type of woman who never leaves his thoughts. Oversharing too soon is a common problem among women. Okay, I see. When you meet the right guy and sense an instant connection, you may find yourself opening about your past, your emotions, your hopes, and your dreams. You believe that by being totally honest, you are establishing a profound bond. However, how is this truly unfolding? You're making yourself less interesting by revealing too much. To him, it's more important to know everything there is to know about you than to slowly come to know you. Then suddenly, all that thrill fades away. Do not misunderstand me. I am not advising you to act aloof or icy. No big secret there. Simply said, that is a man-hating tactic. Imagine instead that he has an insatiable appetite for your stories, but can only devour them one page at a time. He can't help but return for more when you reveal things slowly, when you let him worry about you, and when you leave certain things unsaid. Yet another method for evoking intrigue? Show some surprises. Incorporating an element of surprise into your relationship will captivate him because men need excitement and new experiences. This in no way implies being erratic or untrustworthy. Surprising him in subtle ways is what it means. Perhaps you try something new. Take him somewhere he has never been before, or just keep him wondering what's coming up next. I can tell you from experience that nothing is more enticing than being surprised by a woman. Most women, however, err in this area, playing hard to get in a blatant manner, willfully ignoring texts, acting indifferent, or claiming to be busier than they are, all things people associate with mystery. No big secret there. I find that quite annoying. Being fully present in one's own life is the key to unlocking true mystery. A man will inevitably start to think about you while you're occupied with your own interests, ambitions, and adventures. Soon he will begin to long for your company. He becomes dependent on you for attention. The reason being that he realizes you're a lady whose life isn't dependent on him. Next, we will discuss energy, because being mysterious involves more than simply your words or silence. What matters is your demeanor. Keeping her emotions in check is key to a mysterious woman's persona. She has a remarkable ability to tease a man without giving too much. Instead of using words, she allows her demeanor to do the talking. When she keeps eye contact, stays silent, and doesn't try to explain herself too much, she exudes confidence. When you get the hang of this, people can't help but be drawn to you. All right then, let's do this. Try not to get into too much detail the next time you're talking to a guy you have feelings for. When he inquires about your weekend, instead of spilling the beans, simply remark that it was fascinating. Later I will tell you about it. See how he leans in, clearly interested in finding out more. Notice the increase in his interest, because a man's investment in you will remain high so long as he is curious about you and thinks he is still learning about you. Not to mention, the more shrouded you are in mystery, the more men will fantasize about you. He goes off on a wild goose chase. Also, believe me when I say that nothing beats a man's imagination when it comes to intriguing possibilities. You gain the upper hand the moment he begins to fantasize about you while you're not in the room. I say we try something. Please like the video and leave a comment telling me whether you think mystery is a powerful tool in attraction if you're enjoying it so far. Remember to subscribe, of course. I promise you. The next thing you'll hear is even more devastating. Now, if intrigue is what drives a man crazy, then the next big secret is what makes him feel emotionally invested. And sensory cues and actual touch are at the heart of it all. Press 8 to join us in changing the game. If you're watching and enjoying this video, don't forget to press 3, hit the like button, and share it. If you feel this video isn't quite right, press 0 to help us improve. And don't forget to follow the channel to stay updated with the latest valuable insights. 3. When two individuals touch, it changes the whole dynamic between them. This is because of physical touch and sensory triggers. Touch is as subtle as a fingertip brush, as comforting as a hand on the back, or as chance as two knees crossing beneath a table. It's so little that you hardly notice it, yet it establishes a bond without saying a word. Physical touch has a profound effect on men, whether they realize it or not. Something primal and inner is aroused in them. Men form strong emotional bonds via bodily and sensory experiences, in contrast to women who typically depend more on verbal expressions to convey their emotions. Plus, what's even better, you should not be blatantly explicit about it. A well-planned move might leave an indelible mark on his thoughts. One of the 5 love languages is physical touch, and for many men, it's the most important one. On an unconscious level, it calms, thrills, and initiates attraction. Even if a man's head isn't completely attuned, his body will react instantly to the correct kind of touch. As a result of the biological reaction it triggers, he releases the bonding hormone oxytocin, which helps him feel more at ease with you, emotionally involved in you, and physically closer to you. Intelligence is paramount. A touch loses its impact if it comes across as artificial or forced. The key is to make it look natural, as if it were predetermined. Even the way your legs contact him is a sign of affection. Whether it's a light touch on his arm when you're laughing, a gently tap on his shoulder as you walk by, or anything else. As time goes on, these subtle, often imperceptible touches deepen the bond between those seated together. Even when men can't put their feelings into words, being in the presence of a woman who knows how to manipulate touch makes a huge impact on their bodies. There are a lot of additional senses that contribute significantly to attraction besides touch. Have you ever thought about how a smell might trigger a specific person's memory? Reason being, what we smell has a direct bearing on our emotions and memories. One way to leave an indelible impression on a man is to have a trademark scent, something that is both distinctive and understated. He will think of you the second time he smells that aroma, even if you aren't there. It's more than just fragrance, excellent. The goal is to make him associate his presence with feelings of safety, attraction, and warmth. Next comes making eye contact. Among a woman's sensory instruments, this is among the most potent. Looking at a man, even for an unexpectedly long period of time, can evoke a whole range of emotions. Holding confident, purposeful eye contact with him sends a signal to his brain that you are attractive, interesting, and, dare I say it, a little bit unstable, in the best possible manner. Without saying a word, a gentle smile and a thoughtful look can convey a great deal. Your tone of voice alone can convey a great deal. Did you ever experience being utterly engrossed in a woman's speech, even when she wasn't delivering any particularly noteworthy message? This is since delivery is just as important as content. The rhythm, the tempo, the pauses. These factors provide credence to the feelings conveyed by your speech. His attention will be captivated, and he will linger on your words for longer if you speak in a gentle, somewhat slower tone. Women who are skilled in this area tend to exude an irresistible charm that men can't help but feel a strong connection to, even if they don't know exactly why. The way you engage the senses is just as important as how you look when it comes to physical attraction. A guy is more profoundly affected by your physical presence, by touch, aroma, eye contact, and even the cadence of your voice, than by any words you could ever speak. This explains why certain women, no matter how stunning they are, command attention the moment they step foot in a room, while others, despite their attractiveness, manage to blend in. It's all about the vibe you give off, the tactile impression you leave on a man. So picture the result of fusing strategic touch with a distinctive aroma, lasting eye contact, an enthralling voice, and a unique smell. When he meets you, you're more than just another woman. You're an unforgettable encounter that he'll never forget. The little moments, the way your hand was on his, the aroma of your clothing, the moment your eyes met him will always be there whenever he thinks of you. Also, what about that? You're so attractive because of that. The following stage is far more potent if you've mastered this. Knowing how to satisfy a man's ego in the most satisfying way possible, and how this would cause him to become physically and psychologically dependent on you. The ego stroke effect. If you want to know what makes a man feel incredibly attracted to you, devoted, and maybe even addicted to being in your company, it's the art of feeding his ego in a natural and unforced way. All men, regardless of their self-assurance or level of accomplishment, have an innate and fundamental need to be appreciated, esteemed, and revered. It's not about being overly complimentary or being ostentatious. Rather, it's about recognizing and gently bolstering his sense of masculinity. As soon as you get the hang of this, you'll have control over him that most women are blissfully unaware of. The most common blunder women undertake is assuming males are immune to the need for emotional support. We think they don't need affirmation, because they're strong-willed, self-reliant, and in charge. Yet the reality, Every man, no matter how powerful, has insecurities and desires to be noticed, valued, and respected. You become indispensable to him when you become the woman who acknowledges and praises his qualities, the one who helps him feel like his best self. Yet the key is right here. The timing and way you express yourself are as important as the words themselves. Compliments lose their impact when they come across as insincere, repetitive, or cliché. Men prefer it when they are specifically told they are strong or intelligent. He longs for the day when you appreciate him for who he is. Stop stating that you're so brilliant and give it a go instead. Your thoughts are captivating. No one I've ever met has it like this. No, you're powerful. Try something else instead. You make me feel completely at ease. By making these little adjustments, your words take on a more intimate, targeted, and powerful quality. Associating your compliments with his personality is crucial. When a man feels that you perceive his unique qualities, he begins to identify you with his self-assurance, power, and value. And when a man associates his finest qualities with you, he will do anything to keep you at his side. The interesting part, though, begins right here. Men thrive when presented with a challenge, not when they receive praise. Praise diminishes in value when it's overused or given too readily. But once you start working him for your approval, even in small ways, he can't stop. This is why men are most captivated by women who are defiant when impressed, yet profoundly grateful when struck. Let that sink in. After getting to know a man for 5 minutes, he won't appreciate it if you tell him he's fantastic. However, the ultimate compliment will feel like the cherry on top if you make him work for it, if he knows you're not the kind of lady who gives her blessing to everyone. What happens when a guy realizes how much you mean to him when you compliment him? He continues to pursue it. This explains why some women effortlessly attract men who go to extraordinary lengths to please them, while others find it extremely difficult to maintain a man's interest. Their ability to simultaneously inspire awe and fear is what sets them apart. When a guy has gained her undivided attention, only then can she make him feel like a king. When trying to boost a man's self-esteem, pay attention to his body language. How you respond, rather than what you say, can make all the difference. The radiance in your eyes as he weaves a tale, that subdued expression of awe whenever he pulls off an extraordinary feat. As he talks about his favorite topic, you slightly lean in to listen. These nonverbal cues evoke an emotional reaction in him that surpasses what words can express. Is it sufficient to simply heap praises on a man in the hopes that he stays? In no world. Striking a balance between appreciation and anticipation is where true power lies. It is important for a man to always strive to be his best self, that you may retain your awe. The pursuit ends the moment he believes he has won over entirely. That's why the most alluring ladies are those who know how to value men, but who never settle for mediocrity. Therefore, this is your task. Keep your distance the next time a man is in your company. Take note of one distinctive aspect of his personality, including his thoughts, drive, leadership abilities, and problem-solving prowess. Then, instead of giving him a platitude, make him feel noticed by recognizing it in a unique way. Notice the dramatic shift in his demeanor. Keep an eye on how he starts to gravitate toward you. Pay closer attention to you and try harder to impress you. Although they may not express it openly, men crave admiration, particularly from women they hold in high regard. You establish an almost impenetrable bond with a man when you master the art of making him feel that way, while also keeping him on edge. And if you're like this kind of perspective, hit the like button and leave a comment telling us how you're seeing relationships differently. Plus, sign up for updates. I promise you, the next one is even better. 5. Nothing can make a man cherish a woman more than the thought of losing her. This is a fact of psychology. When people can sense something slipping away, only then can they fully value it. Moreover, this dynamic takes on an even greater impact in relational contexts. You can have a man's undying affection and enjoyment of your company, but if he perceives that you are constantly accessible, he will inevitably begin to take you for granted. He's not indifferent. Rather, it's hardwired into our DNA to appreciate scarcity. Things like unique jewelry, exclusive clubs, and once-in-a-lifetime events are examples of what individuals obsess over. Not only are they valuable, but they are also difficult to get your hands on. Pursuits are intensified when individuals perceive an item as scarce. Men in relationships are no different. His desire to pursue you relentlessly would naturally diminish if he believed that you will always be there for him. But things change when he realizes he could lose you, that you have finite resources like time, attention, and energy, and begin to view you in a whole new way. Many women make crucial errors here. A woman's belief is that a guy will value her more if she consistently demonstrates her loyalty, availability, and dedication. That's not how it works. The more he accepts you as inevitable, the less motivated he is to defend you, value you, and make you his top priority. This explains why some women pour their hearts, souls, and minds into a relationship, only to discover that the man eventually quits trying. He's no longer worried about losing her, not that he lost interest. So how can you deftly establish this dynamic without being manipulative so that a man remains invested? Independence, self-assurance, and emotional control are crucial. He will feel pressured to do more to maintain your presence in his life if you demonstrate that he isn't essential to your joy, social life, or sense of personal fulfillment. A woman that is ambitious, passionate, has strong friendships, and is always growing as an individual is the type of woman that men pursue after with all their might. The inability to control one's emotions is a major trigger for this loss phobia. He may develop an unhealthy sense of security if you set a pattern of being very emotionally available, responding promptly and accepting everything. Alternatively, change the game by being a little less predictable. Even if he expects you to respond to his SMS instantly every time, it's okay to be slow sometimes. Let him know from time to time that you're busy if he thinks you'll constantly agree to last-minute plans. His thoughts begin to race as he realizes you're not constantly close by. What on earth is she doing? He begins to wonder. Is her enthusiasm waning? Am I making a mistake? His ambition to win you over is reawakened by this minor discomfort. Setting and sticking to high standards is also essential. Respect is due to women who are strong enough to leave an abusive relationship rather than cling to a man no matter the cost. For some reason, males just can't stand women who settle for mediocrity. Women who expect the most from them are something they adore and desire. Effortlessness increases when a man sees that you aren't scared to leave if he doesn't give you what you deserve. Because of this, some women have men who adore them, while others have a hard time getting even the most basic forms of attention. It has nothing to do with being deceitful or cruel. It's about being confident in your value and refusing to accept anything less than what you're worth. Conflict management is another area where this idea might be useful. Man's behavior changes when he fears losing something valuable, not when he is comfortable. The ability to walk away is the ultimate test of this principle. A man values a woman more when he knows she can leave him if he treats her wrong. When he sees that you are not afraid to leave, you become irresistible to him. This is because men are naturally competitive, and if a man truly fears losing you, he starts acting differently. He pays more attention, listens more carefully, and puts in more effort because you are not like other women. You are high-value, self-sufficient, and not easily replaced. That's the kind of woman who keeps a man forever captivated. Once you master this, he will stop chasing what he feels is just out of reach. The following step is even more effective. How to build an emotional connection so strong that a man feels like you're his only woman. One powerful way to do this is by sharing secrets with each other. Ever wondered why we feel so close to people with whom we have in-depth conversations? And why do some relationships feel intensely personal while others stay on the surface? The answer is simple. Emotional intimacy is built through vulnerability. When you open up to someone, you tap into their depths of emotion. When men open up to women, it's because they've been taught to keep their emotions in check, act strong, and avoid appearing too vulnerable. However, when a man starts to share his thoughts, fears, past, and dreams, he's doing something very rare. The woman who can create an environment where he feels safe enough to open up is the one he becomes emotionally attached to. And here's the thing, this process works. You must be open to letting a man into your world if you want him to feel deeply connected to you. This doesn't mean telling him everything about your life on a first date, but it does mean revealing pieces of yourself that make him feel trusted, special, and chosen. Once he starts to feel this way, he starts to open up and share more of his own story. Being aware of your unique qualities sets you apart from every other woman he's encountered. However, not all secrets are equal. If you reveal too much too quickly, it can be overwhelming. If you reveal too emotionally heavy secrets, it can feel like pressure. The key is to share just enough to give him a glimpse of the real you, a side that not everyone gets to see. This is what makes it so powerful. As soon as he realizes he knows things about you that others don't, he begins to feel emotionally invested, Ed. He feels a unique connection to you and returns for more when you respond to his vulnerability with understanding, warmth, and curiosity. On the other hand, if he shares something personal, fear, a mistake, or even a childhood dream, and you react with judgment, indifference, or disinterest, he will immediately shut down. The depth of his bond with you is determined by how you handle his vulnerability. This technique is so effective that it's used in psychology, business, and even interrogation tactics. Research shows that when people share personal information, their trust and emotional connection increase. That's why having deep conversations can lead to unexpected attraction, and why couples who share jokes, stories, and confessions often have the strongest bonds. But here's the secret. You don't have to force deep conversations to build them. One way to foster emotional intimacy is by asking thoughtful questions at the right times and responding appropriately. Instead of asking general questions like, "How was your day?" Try asking something more personal, like, "What's something you've never told anyone before?" Or, "Is there a childhood dream that you still think about?" Or, "Is there one thing you wish people understood about you?" These kinds of questions will cause him to pause, reflect, and open up in ways he isn't used to, which will lead to a deeper connection and him viewing you as more than just another number, than just a romantic partner. He sees you as someone he can't imagine his life without. But the most powerful thing is when you reach this level of emotional depth, you make it impossible for another woman to replace you, because physical attraction is easy to find, but a true emotional connection is rare. So if you're starting to see the power of emotional intimacy and attraction, like this video and comment number 1. If you've ever had a conversation that made you feel deeply connected to someone, and don't forget to subscribe, because next we're talking about something even more irresistible. How to keep a man chasing you. Without a doubt, the challenge factor is innate to men. From an early age on, they are taught that if they want something valuable, like a successful career, a fit body, or a championship trophy, they must work for it. This drive to succeed also carries over into their relationships, stronger than before. So this is why women who are easily won over by men tend to experience a rapid waning of their interest. It's not that men are bad or unappreciative, it's just that when something is too accessible, it loses its perceived value. On the other hand, when men feel like they must work to win your attention, time, and affection, he doesn't just stay interested, he becomes obsessed. Now let me clarify. Being a challenge does not imply playing games. Setting the stage for him to feel like he needs to keep delivering stellar performances to earn your approval, whether by being uncaring or intentionally making things harder, is key. When he senses that you are not easily impressed, that your standards are high, and that you will not accept anything less than what you deserve, his entire attitude toward your shifts. You become a prize, something rare and valuable, something he cannot afford to lose. One of the most effective ways to introduce the challenge factor is through one important aspect of maintaining a healthy relationship is being selective with when you let a man in on your priorities, passions, and life outside of him. This will help him understand that he shouldn't try to fit into your world, but rather that you have your own life outside of him. This is why attractive women tend to have strong senses of self-worth and refuse to let a man control every aspect of it. Being a man means being able to set and stick to boundaries. When a man sees that you have standards and expectations and aren't afraid to walk away from situations that don't meet them, he naturally respects you more. He sees you as someone who values consistency and won't tolerate half-hearted effort, so he steps up. Now consider the women that men seem to chase endlessly. They may not be the most beautiful or charming, but they just exude an irresistible charm that makes it impossible to resist. They make men feel like they must earn their affection, not just give it freely, but show him that he deserves it. That's why men chase after them. Another way to introduce challenges is emotional unpredictability. If you're overly predictable emotionally, saying yes, agreeing, and reacting in the same way, he starts to lose interest. On the other hand, when there's mystery and intrigue, he stays. Listening doesn't imply being tough, it just means your reactions aren't automatic and your attention isn't guaranteed. One powerful thing you can do is not instantly reward a man for minimal effort. For example, if he sends a basic text after days of silence, instead of responding with excitement, let him feel the weight of his inconsistency. Similarly, if he cancels a date last minute and expects to reschedule on his terms, show him that your time is valuable and that you don't just bend over backwards to accommodate him. At its core, men desire a sense of purpose and a reason to invest emotionally and mentally in a relationship. When a man feels like he has won you without putting in real effort, his instinct to keep trying diminishes. Conversely, when he perceives an opportunity to prove himself, he fully commits to you. Once you grasp this, chasing a man will never be necessary again. Women who fully embrace their feminine energy exude an undeniable power. It's not just about their appearance, it's about how they move, speak, react, and exist in the world. Men are naturally drawn to this energy because it complements their masculinity. Traditionally, men have been taught to be stoic, logical, and action-oriented. However, women's energy brings a softness, mystery, and emotional depth that men can't resist. As a result, many men make the mistake of trying to control their feminine qualities. In today's dating world, it seems like a lot of women are trying to prove themselves by being more masculine than men. They think that to get a man's respect, they need to be cold, distant, and unfeeling. However, men aren't romantically interested in women who are just like them. Rather, they are more attracted to women who exude feminine confidence, who are strong but also tender, who set clear boundaries, and who are graceful and confident. It starts with your presence. A woman who is truly comfortable in her femininity is receptive rather than forceful, alluring rather than aggressive, mysterious rather than predictable. She doesn't need to dominate a room. She just needs to be in it, and people will feel her magnetic. She walks with intention, she speaks with emotion, and she knows that her softness is not a weakness. It's her greatest weapon. One of the most powerful ways to express feminine energy is through your ability to receive. Many women are so used to being open, inviting, and letting a man step up is all about creating space for him to provide, protect, and pursue. It doesn't mean being passive, but rather leaning into the natural dynamic where he feels like he's contributing to your happiness. Then there's the art of emotional expression. Men are deeply moved by women who know how to express joy, playfulness, curiosity, and other positive emotions in a captivating way. In a world where everything is fast-paced, efficient, and transactional, a woman who knows how to slow down, savor, and let moments linger creates a whole different experience for a man. It's like watching her sip her drink or listening attentively. It's all about making him feel something, whether it's excitement, nostalgia, or a deep desire to protect and cherish her feminine energy. The way she allows silence to exist in conversation without immediately filling it is a captivating contrast to the chaos outside. She serves as his haven from the chaos outside. Another important element is playfulness. Men are attracted to women who are spontaneous, lighthearted, and playful in a way that keeps the energy fun and exciting. A woman who can laugh easily, make clever remarks, and create an atmosphere where a man feels at ease is one he will never tire of. When a man is in the company of a feminine energy, he is kept on his toes by her boundless energy, which is full of surprises and fluidity. What's more, there is sensuality in a feminine woman's experience of life, and not just in the physical sense. A feminine woman is fully present in her body, enjoying textures, music, and movement in a way that feels deeply connected to her senses. This includes the way she touches her own hair, lets her fingers linger on the edge of a glass, and dances when she thinks no one is watching. Inspire a man to embrace his masculinity more fully when a woman is authentically feminine. So if you're starting to comprehend the immense power of feminine energy, please click the like button and share your experience of a woman effortlessly captivating a man in the comments section. Don't forget to subscribe, because next time, we'll be discussing the most powerful move of all time, the art of walking away. Nothing changes the power dynamic in a relationship like the ability to walk away. To walk away when necessary, this is the ultimate sign of self-respect, confidence, and high value. And it's something that instantly changes the way a man sees you. When a woman has the courage to step back from a situation that no longer serves her, she sends a message louder than words. She will not settle, she will not beg, and she will not tolerate anything less than what she deserves, and that is what makes a man stop, reevaluate, and chase after her harder than ever before. Most women fear walking away because they believe it. Men are hardwired to react to loss. When they believe you'll be there forever, they may take you for granted. But when they feel like you're slipping away, their minds start to race with questions like, did I mess up? Is she really gone? Will I ever find someone like her again? This fear of loss creates a sense of urgency, and they finally realize how valuable you are. It's disheartening to see how many women make empty threats to leave a relationship without ever actually doing so. They say things like, if you don't change, I'll leave, but then they stay even when things don't improve. This sends the message to men that their words don't matter, that they can disrespect them and ignore their needs while still having them around. The key is to walk away from a place of strength, not desperation. You're not walking away to beg or cause emotional explosions. When a man truly feels her absence, he knows when to pull back emotionally, when to stop trying, when to stop reciprocating, or when to completely exit. It's not just about leaving a relationship. It's about removing your energy and attention from any situation where you are not being treated as you should. You're not trying to manipulate or punish him. You're honoring yourself too much to remain in a place where you're not valued. The strongest women on earth know this, and it shows. They never chase, beg, or tolerate half-hearted love. Men look up to them more because of it. A man may enjoy a woman's attention if she fawns over him, but he will never commit to her because he sees that she has boundaries and worth fighting for. But here's the interesting part. Not every man will chase after you when you walk away, and that's a good thing. The men who let you go without a fight, who don't care when you step back, who don't try to fix things, those are the men who were never truly invested in the first place, and by walking away, you save yourself from wasting time on someone who was never meant for you. On the other hand, the right man, the one who truly values you, will feel your absence like a missing piece in his life, and that is, when he returns, it's not just words but actions that matter. Here's the most important lesson. When you walk away, you have to mean it. If you do it to test him or provoke a reaction, you'll only end up disappointed. But if you walk away because you truly believe you deserve better, that's when real change happens. A man will see you in a whole new light. Ultimately, walking away isn't about losing a man. It's about choosing yourself first. It's all about understanding that you're whole, complete, and sufficient on your own. And that when a woman exudes that sort of energy, she transforms into the type of woman men never desire. It's not about playing games or manipulating men. It's about understanding their subconscious desires and thoughts and positioning yourself as an unforgettable, irresistible woman. Every man has weaknesses, but only a select few women can learn to navigate and use these weaknesses to build deep, lasting connections. Impossible to replace, from triggering his hero instinct, to maintaining mystery, from using the power of touch, to making him emotionally invest through shared secrets. Each of these strategies is designed to activate his deepest desires in a way that makes him feel drawn to you naturally. And when you balance challenge with warmth, admiration, with standards, and presence with scarcity, you create an emotional experience so powerful that he never stops thinking about you. But here's the real truth. The most magnetic women are the ones who don't just focus. These women prioritize themselves above all else, have a life outside of relationships, and have an innate sense of self-worth that they never feel the need to prove to anyone. Men are drawn to women who embody these qualities, so there's no need to settle for a relationship if you don't want to. Which of these strategies struck a chord with you the most? Have you ever unintentionally set off a chain reaction? A man's secret wish. Let me know what you think and subscribe if you're ready to learn how to attract and maintain relationships. I have a lot more content coming out that will alter your perspective on dating and men in general. Until then, remain powerful, radiate confidence, and never underestimate your abilities.